Sorry. Okay, here we go.
Well, that's what I was saying. Okay, first quiz of Lojong text this
If you
term.
can hear Seiji, please nod your head.
Yep. Good to see you, Alex Aldo. Chido. Okay, so do you guys remember what was our author was quoting a prayer? Who remembers which one was that?
From the Bodhisattva Charyavatara.
Yes, exactly. Very famous.
The dedication chapter.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're saying history, and I'm trying to get you guys.
And do you remember? Oh, do I need to unmute? Open his camera.
Yeah.
Oh, my camera. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, then they'll see his.
Yeah, and they're gonna see it. You can see Seiji.
All right. So yeah, it's the dedication prayer from Bodhisattva Charyavatara by.
Sushati Deva.
You remember what particular thing he was talking about here in the text?
It's about the beings in the hell realms and the rain of knives and coal falling on them. And he wants to alleviate all that suffering and bring them bliss.
Yay!
And turn it into
Wasn't it about the guards who were doing that?
Yeah.
The guards were doing that, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question. So after that, we continue on the root text. And do you guys remember what else we were talking about?
I don't remember.
It was talking about the lower. I hint to say it was talking about the lower realms people.
And that beings in the lower realms, that they achieve this special mantra of clairvoyance to take the body of an angel or a human.
Yay. Now, an extra question that came into my mind. Why do we say the higher realms and not just humans?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a deity. No, seriously, because then I'd lose all my good karma if I have any.
But why do you think it was in the root text? This was mentioned. By the way, I don't have an answer.
Seriously, it's a question I've had for all time.
In the Karma Vibhanga, it seems like they throw in deities and then they carve them at Borobudur to attract disciples. It's like promising someone if you blow up a place, you'll be surrounded by sexy ladies in heaven or something like that. It's the same idea, I think.
Well, but you don't want them to actually become deities.
No, but if you look at the Borobudur carvings, they're kind of guaranteeing you a Deva realm with lots of girls and boys. And you see, I mean, I think it's a top kippa.
Cool. Well, another thing is I kind of cheated and went ahead on the next verse, and it says that it's talking about the lower people, lower realm beings, and then he's going to the higher realms too.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Now there was another thing we were talking about three successive practices that we're mentioning in the text. There are three things. The first one, I'll give you a hint. The first one is getting the wish, and there were two sets. Who remembers what they were? Standing words. And in English?
Mastering the 6 perfections.
Yeah. And then that's one. That's the second one. What about the third one?
Dushi.
Going forward to gather disciples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, wait. For extra points, who can tell me quickly the 4 ways of attracting disciples?
Generosity, compliment,
Generosity.
getting to do what they learned, and then doing it yourself. Practice what you preach.
There you go. Awesome. Thanks, Word. And I took a shot of translating the next thing, so this might be.
God bless. Yeah.
So I just took a dictionary and did word by word and tried to make something comprehensive.
No, nice.
So these are the words. All these, however, self and teacher begin rely on mode. Honoring act quickly path of travel completely wish. What I thought this meant is, I pray all these, however many they are, begin to rely on me as a teacher and quickly travel the complete and unerring path.
Not bad to start. You want to do the whole thing together?
Yes, please.
Okay. And may they as well, Dedaki Kyang, okay, and may they as well take me as their spiritual teacher and rely on me in a way which is never mistaken.
Oh.
And before long, they come to the end of their journey on the spiritual levels and paths. This is the prayer I make.
Oh, much better. Cool. All right. That is it. Thank you.
Yay, Matthew. By the way, Word, I forgot to give you an assignment to translate for next time. The next two paragraphs of your text, which I'll send you tonight, they start with taksur, which means each component of the reason. Okay, taksur. And then the second sentence starts with takni, nipa, which means the second reason. Okay, so those two short paragraphs. Yay! All right, back to Seiji.
Oh, by the way, I have a quick question.
Good. Okay.
I looked at the original course 14 reading.
Uh-oh, I hate people who say that.
No, there was a difference. In the class, we had said, may they repay my kindness and take me as their lama.
Funny. Yeah.
But in the original Lojong, it said, may I repay their kindness.
Yeah,
with the gift of Holy Dawn.
Because this book is so old, there are many versions of it. And we're gonna, in fact, he's gonna talk about that tonight.
Oh, cool.
He's gonna point that out tonight. So, and then you'll see an interesting thing where the person who records the lecture, his book is a lecture record of a lecture. The person recording it says, he says, look, I know the root text doesn't read this way, but that's the way the Lama taught it, and that's the way we're reading it. And that's the way we're writing the root text, because that's the way my Lama taught it. Okay, so there you go. That happens. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Where are we? Yay, we're right here. Okay. You can't see my screen yet. Now we should have it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna bump it down a little bit. I'm gonna skip the root text because we cover it in the commentary, okay? And it saves time. All right, so please read, and Stanley is gonna correct your pronunciation loudly.
All right. Chete, detar ngeng song king joa namsu mase to risu tokpe njoa nam ki kyang da king
see when there's an S.
da ki kro joe tun chepa te te na da ki Jitar Chupatan, Sumpar Dakme Tokpe Sherap Nam Par Dakpa Raptu Gompar Chene.
Okay, good. Wow. Okay, Chete, Detang and Sonke draw namsu mase. Mase means not only. And it literally means it doesn't end there. Okay, so not only am I making these prayers for the Ngensong people,
For the lower?
yeah, for people in the 3 lower realms, that they should become my students. I'm making the same prayer for the Tori, the ones in the higher. Tokpa here means who are included into, and you know it from the negative, matok. Okay, but here it means, may those beings who are included or taken in by the higher realms also, may I dunche for them. May I act on their may I act on their for their behalf. Okay. And at that moment in time, Daki Jita Chupa Dan Sumbar, we had that sung in Stanley's text. We talked about it extensively.
The other.
Yeah, meaning equally. Here it means equally. Okay. Meaning what? Daki Chupa Sung.
And this soup is made from coconut.
Just as much as my activities are for my own good.
Lemongrass.
This is the Chapa in Avatara, Bodhisattva Charya Avatara. This is the Charya, okay, the activities of a Bodhisattva. May they also engage in the same activities that I do equally. Now, you should celebrate. Maitri should scream here. And we should have birthday cake. There's always a reason to have birthday cake. Somebody asked me how many students you want. I said 365 with different birthdays. In this moment, in this very word Sumbar, the whole book is shifting to an emptiness book. Okay? In this moment, after 4 years or something, right? This book is going to shift to an emptiness, a whole book about emptiness. Okay, it's very awesome. And how does he segue? Can you guess? Oh, the hell realm people should try to practice what I'm practicing, and the higher realm people should try to practice what I'm practicing. Well, what I'm practicing is trying to understand emptiness. See, that's how he segues. It's really sweet. And then he just blows it off. Then he just blows off. The book becomes a different book than it has been up to now. Up to now, it's been emphasizing Dak Chen, and now it's going to emphasize Dang Zin. Okay, ready? Awesome, really awesome. Yeah. Here we go. Get ready. Put on your emptiness seatbelts. Okay, Dak Me Tok Beshiro. That's what I've been studying. What?
The wisdom of no self?
Yeah, the wisdom which realizes no self. Okay. He did not say Dak Chinzin. Right. Okay. Right. He didn't say self-cherishing. All up till now, every time we say Dak, we saw Dak, he was talking about cherishing myself. And now he's changing to self that doesn't exist. The husband in the kitchen who's not coming from you. Got it? Wow. What a moment. Okay. We'll get the cake later. I know a good place.
All right.
So, Shiram Nambadaba Raptu Gom. May they Gom Shiram.
Achieve.
May they meditate on Shiram. Okay. May all those, if I'm going to be their Lama of the hell realm beings, and now I'm the Lama of the better beings, well, they're going to have to do what I'm interested in. And that's a Shiram Gom. What kind of Shiram? Nambadapa. Completely pure, totally pure wisdom. Okay. Oh, how much meditate? Raptugon. Super meditate. Super meditate on super wisdom. Super. I'm so cool I can kiss myself. Okay, Jenny, okay. Okay, keep going. Ellie's checking, Jingmei's checking this sentence, and it's a short one.
Sipe
No,
dewa
5 lines.
tang shiwa shokchik pe
Make some mistakes for her just to see if she's awake.
dewa kang lahang nampar mitokpate teta kang lahang ma chak par nampar mitokpa dakme tokpe yeshe ki de tamche nam sema tokrang na ma jupe sishi nyampa ni durangon chupa te yimpa la yimpa
I got lost.
no shit
I did
by
too.
shok chip chepao.
All right, nice. We don't know if we made a mistake because we got lost.
Yeah, I got lost.
Good.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Sibe dewa means I'm gonna make my bigger. Let's make it bigger.
Worldly pleasure.
Let's see. Okay, sibe dewa da. Shiwa chochipe dewa. Yeah. Worldly dewa. Okay, samsaric pleasures and Shiva. Shanti. Shanta. Peace. Okay, worldly pleasures and peace. Just that part, the worldly part, okay. Dewa Kanglang, that kind of happiness, I will namba mitopa.
One, two.
Realize not
Here it means I will not mind it. I won't put my mind on that.
Oh.
You know, I won't concentrate on that. Which means I won't chakpa to that. Duchak.
Want for it.
Hold to it.
fault. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I won't be attached to it. Okay. So as far as worldly pleasures, I will not attend to them, which our speaker glosses as I will not be attached to them, is what he means when he says I will not pay attention to them. Okay. But rather, I will focus on number mitopa. I will not focus on them that way with desire, and I will try to get to a higher pleasure, which is dak me tope yeshe.
The wisdom of realizing not self.
Yeah, the wisdom of realizing that nothing comes from its own self. Dak me, no self nature. Okay. Ki de tamje nangsa matopa. Things like the husband yelling at me in the kitchen are appearing to me as if they were coming from their side. But rangune madu, they are not coming from their own side. Okay, they are not coming from our own side, their own side. In a sense, si shi nyamba. You asked me the difference between nyamba and sumba the other day. Somebody asked me the two words for equal. Nyamba and Sumba. Here's a big one. Okay. Here it says Sipa and Shiva and Nyamba.
They're the same.
Sansara and
It's,
Peace.
Nirvana are the same.
because you think of it's coming from
They're the same. Okay, yeah. Nyamba nidu rango tripate. Okay, this is tough. I will be the one, Rang, to Mo Tripa, introduce them to those students.
Wow.
I will be the one to teach them that samsara and nirvana are the same. In the sense of
That don't come from them.
not coming from their side. Okay? Yeah, I will be the one. Yimbala, Yimbarango Shepa. Yimbala, Yimbarango Shepa. I'll teach them. I will show them that what is what is. I will teach them to recognize that what is really what is. Okay.
Krishna, which rung is the I will do it here?
Rang.
I sorry.
Shok means may I be the one to teach them which may I be the one to teach them which is the real is. Okay. May I be the one to teach them what is. Okay, it's cool. So basically, this whole part here, it's interesting, right? He has jumped from changing the knives in the hell realms into flower petals. And then he says, well, what are all those hell beings going to do when they get out? Because I changed them. Well, they can come and study with me. Well, what are you going to teach them? Well, I'll teach them what I'm working on. Well, what are you working on? Emptiness. Okay, and he's there's no mention of Rang Chinzen. Okay, and perhaps teaching emptiness is the opposite of Rang Chinzen. Maybe the act of teaching someone that things are coming from them is the greatest kindness you can pay somebody. Okay, right? That's the greatest expression of non-selfishness. Okay, I propose it. Anyway, here we go. All right, here's the part I was talking about to Nancy. I forget who it was. Xiaoping's going to check your pronunciation. You know what it reminds me of was how Stelly was checking her driving on the way back from Hilton today. I decided to take my life in my hands. New idiom. I took my life in my hands and got in the car. It means I risked my life. I took my life in my hands and I got in the car. It was an interesting experience. Okay, go. Lila
pe. Gashi.
Not pay.
De.
Not pay.
Lila te.
Pe.
Pe. Oh. Lila pe. Gashi la de tang shi geshe. And dukyang dorje changni ki sitang shiwa. Shesung pama se pe shen lang detarn dukpe sung she tang tung par ke payin.
Nice. Now he's addressing the fact that the manuscripts don't match. That we see different readings in different manuscripts, which somebody just asked me about. Okay, so be gashik be means manuscript. Okay, in this case, chape, chape. That's what they call it, a scripture in the monastery. Pecha. Pecha is the colloquial, and chakpe is the honorific. Okay, be is so gashik means some. In some scriptures, in some editions, be gashigla. You see the wording as de dang shide up here. Here it says si dang shiwa. Okay, in our manuscript it says si dang shiwa. Okay, and he says, look, there's some manuscripts, copies of this poem that read de dang shide instead of si dang shiwa. Okay, what it says here is, I will teach people not to distinguish between samsara and nirvana. And the Lama said, sorry, now the transcriber is talking from his own side, which is unusual. He usually doesn't insert himself in the book. And here he says, look, I know some of you have seen editions that say happiness and the happiness of nirvana instead of samsara and nirvana. Okay, I know some of you have seen that wording. Dukkyang, but this is the Sungpa of Dorje-chan.
The words of the holder.
But I am just writing what Vajradhara himself said. Who's that?
The teacher.
His teacher. And he doesn't even call him by his name, Dembarabge. He says, the Buddha said, okay? The king of all Buddhas said, and you know he's talking about his own teacher, right? Okay. So Dorje-chan Ni himself, okay? Vajradhara himself, who taught all the tantric scriptures. Vajradhara himself, meaning my teacher. He said Siddhan Shi. He said samsara and nirvana here. Okay. That's the way he said it. Matse is a misspelling from Masse. But we're going to leave it because that's what the person wrote. And Bei Shen, what's Shen mean? Like, yeah, Shen Nyamje, other.
Oh.
Yeah, you can also find this reading that my teacher used in other manuscripts hanging around. If you check other manuscripts, you will see it written the way my teacher said it. Okay, Bei Shen na deta dupe. Therefore, I have kupa.
Set forth.
Nice. I have the version I have put in this book for you guys is the one that came from the Sungshe, from the lectures. Okay, from the lectures. I have written it here as I heard it in the lectures. Not only did my teacher say that's the way it was, but you can find versions that have it that way. That's what you say to people who are asking why the different versions are different. Okay. All right. Who's checking you? You checked it. Oh, Chunzom, you ready? Be critical. Say something about it. His tie is straight. No, look at this big wrinkle here. Okay, go.
Detarchena Jandi Chompangyu Shepani Nga Kong tu Lantu Marshepe Dakchenzin la Jarta Nengope Jarte Nengope Tapsundi Tak Su Shintu Nyamsu Langna Trate Chompangyuro.
Good. So he goes back to the root text, which he always just says, root text. Okay. Sawa. Root text, back to root text. And we added the bolding, right? Deta chena, if you do it this way, Deta chena, if you do it this way, da chom.
Wow.
Da chomba. Da chomba. Enemy destroyer. Okay. So what's he saying? If you do it like I just said, no, you can chom the da.
Oh, destroy the enemy.
Yeah, you can destroy the enemy. He puts a different verb tense here. Da chomba is no aspiration. Da chomba. The noun. Here he says, if you do it this way, you can finally destroy the enemy. What way? Understand that two things are equivalent. What?
Suffering and one.
Nay. Which means understand emptiness. Okay, got it? If you get to the point where you understand that a husband yelling in the kitchen and a husband kissing in the kitchen have something in common, then you can destroy the enemy of creating husbands who yell. Got it? Okay. Now he's going to explain about that line. Okay. And did you finish this part? I'm sorry. Okay. Shepani. He's excited. Dad's finally getting to emptiness. Shepani. Nga kon du len duma shepe. Okay. Nga means previously in this work or in this teaching. Kong tu in the sections above. Kong tu. Len duma many times. So don't forget that the word that sounds like len has 3 different meanings. Dong len, to take. Len gyap, to make an answer. Or len duma means many times, many times, many times. Len can mean take, times, or, well, answer. Yeah, okay. Len duma shebe. Okay, look, up to now in this book for 4 years, we have been repeating over and over again, dak chenzin, self-cherishing. And we have viewed that te as the da, as the enemy. Okay. And now it's time to figure out how to stop it. Okay. And that's emptiness. Okay. So he's going from dang chinzin to dangzin. He's skipping the cherishing part. Okay. And now he draws a line between them. Say the line. Express it. We're going to study dangzin to stop dang chinzin.
Self-cherishing to no self.
Yeah, to stop seeing a self where there is none. Okay, got it? We're going to go from dak chinzin to fighting the enemy of dang zin without the cherish part. Okay, cool. Sushin Nyamsa Magna, if you can practice this teaching about stopping dang zin correctly, Sushindu correctly, Nyamsa Lang, if you can put it into your life, in the kitchen, when things get hot in the kitchen, that's the real battlefield. It is the real battlefield. Okay. Then Jad Chom. Then you can beat the enemy. Then you can destroy the enemy of Dak Chenzen, right? Okay. Because Darte, we've been looking at self-cherishing as the enemy. Now you have the weapon to fight it, to defeat it. Now, this is a very interesting sentence. Go, go, go. Chinzong, stay with him. You didn't yell at him. Come on, his seats aren't that good.
Shenge su tene shukla.
Good, yeah. Okay. Tene.
Ne?
The second word.
Shenge.
No, high tone. No, high tone.
Shenge.
No,
Su tene shukla detar machena chompar minguro sheten pao.
Good. Okay. So what he's saying directly is, if you learn about Dang Zin, you can defeat the enemy of Dang Chinzin. Okay. Now, by saying that directly, Musuten, what is he implying on the other side? I'll say it again. The real way to stop self-cherishing is to stop seeing a self-nature. Now, no, well, that's what he said in a positive way, but what's he implying?
If you don't do it, you cannot.
Yeah, okay, that's what this sentence says. If you don't figure out self-nature and emptiness, there's no way to stop that enemy. And he says, look, I admit he didn't say it directly in the text, but that's what he's implying. Okay, so Muso means directly stated. Shukla means by implication. He implied. Shukla means by saying that the only way to defeat the enemy is to understand emptiness. Then by implication, he's saying, until you start using emptiness, you will never defeat the enemy of self-cherishing. Cool. Right. Minguro, you will never. Tembo, that's what he's really showing us. That's what he's really teaching us. Okay. These books are getting heavy, if you ask me. Okay. Who we got here? Oh, Christina, let's go.
Sawa. Detar chena namtok chompangyur shepa yang kongsu shepa tar nyamsu langna nam tok chomparngyur ate. Ndi yang nam tok yin se la chepar mi chepar dak chen zin tang teki pe tokpa ngampa namla chepao.
Good. Okay, this is hard. We got to talk about the word namtok. Okay, number topa, namtok. In the monastery, namtok means an unfounded suspicion. You know, he keeps saying stuff about me. He thinks I'm trying to hurt him. It's all namtok. It's just, and sometimes it refers to not walking under a ladder. Superstition. It can mean superstition. Okay. Here I would translate it personally as something like random thoughts. Just thoughts. Just random thoughts. Random thoughts. Okay. So the root text here says, if you do it like that, you can defeat your random thoughts. Okay. But namtok can also mean to misunderstand reality. Okay. Like a superstition about reality. So, but I would translate it as random thoughts here, and I'll show you why.
Okay.
Kondu shepatar, as we said before, nyamsu langna, if you practice this way, okay, you can chom your namtos.
Defeat the
random thoughts. Okay, you can defeat your random thoughts. And then he defines random thoughts. Thank you.
Yes.
He's a good man. And by the way, that's why we chose this commentary, and they're very rare commentaries on Lojong. And we were trying to cover each major topic, which we did in the ACI courses also. We had an ACI course on Lojong. He's the Lojong man. He's course 14, which had to come after 13 because that was logic and half my students quit. Nancy was there. So you got to learn the word yinsei, okay? Yinsei here means all the ones there are. All the ones there are. That sei means measurement. We see it in pramana, sema. Okay, to measure reality is perception. Okay, so namto yinsei la miche. We're not talking about all the random thoughts you could have. We are not talking about, when we say random thoughts here, we're not talking about all the random thoughts you could have. Well, which ones are you talking about? Dak Chinzin.
Oh, random thoughts of self-cherishing.
Yeah, and not even perceiving a self-nature. He goes back to self-cherishing. So this last part of this section, where they usually have a refrain, he says, you can defeat the enemy of your random thoughts. And our author, our lecturer, he defines this random thoughts as self-cherishing. Okay, and all the topangamba and all the crappy thoughts that self-cherishing leads you to. And he uses the word crappy. Okay, got it? So if you keep this up, meaning if you keep working on your emptiness understanding, you can destroy as well all your random thoughts. And then the audience says, well, which random thoughts are you talking about? He says, look, I'm not talking about every random thought you could have. I'm talking about self-cherishing and all the crappy thoughts you get in your head when you're taking care of yourself, when you're trying to take care of yourself. It's very beautiful. Right? Cool. So that's going to be a delicate to translate. Good luck.
I've seen that before. There's like people translate that as discursive thoughts or conceptual thoughts.
Yeah, you could.
So
but not in this case.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to work back from. I translated the root text after I read his commentary. So I said random thoughts after I saw what he was talking about. And sometimes you have to do that. And namto can mean 1,000 different things, like superstition or unfounded thoughts. Okay. We got time? Yeah. Back to Xiaoping. Pick on him.
Mitok yeshe dakme kom kyurne. Suku kyutre chi te top mingyur.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, I got it. Let's read the commentary and not the root text because it's kind of like a surprise. Okay. Please keep reading. Did we read this part?
No. Shepani detar tap de wa chempo nampar mi tokpe yeshetan. Shrap dakme tope yeshe. Jungel to Nyamsu Langna.
Okay, good. We got to go to Sungdo here. Okay, let's talk about Sungdo. $50 for Sungjuk in this room.
Oh.
For Sungjuk in this room.
Combination of the two.
Nice. $50 for Chinzo. Venerable Chinzo. Yeah. Sungjuk is the tantric word for Buddhahood. The combination of two. What two? Clear light and rainbow body. Clear light and the rainbow body. The method to get there is bliss and emptiness. Okay. All right. So here he says, now he's talking about a sungdo. He's talking about a combination. He's talking about a combination of things. Now we just have to figure out what the two things are. Okay. So the first one is Dewa Chimbo. Great bliss. Okay. The half of the normal combination of the two. Right. And he's saying that's what Mitope Yeshi really refers to in the verse. The verse doesn't say great bliss because that's secret. The verse says wisdom which no longer has thought. Okay. The verse says wisdom which no longer has thought. There's your topa again. But what it means is Dewa Chimbo, great bliss, but it's secret. So it says combination of what? Combination of thought, wisdom beyond thought, and shittam. See, there's another wisdom. Therefore, you cannot read the first one as wisdom because here's another one. Okay, yeshi and shittam. What's the difference? Nothing. Okay, yeah, good luck finding two different words.
So what might you do to distinguish between them in this case? I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah, I would translate one as knowledge or something like that, or high understanding or something like that. I was gonna say the first Mr. D he tries to establish a difference between the two in his commentary on the Abhidhamma Kosha. If you're really interested, you can go read it. Okay, the wisdom the wisdom beyond all thought, which is his code word for great bliss, and shittam and wisdom, which is the wisdom. Again, he uses yesh. He defines shittam as yeshi. Okay, the wisdom which perceives that there's no self-nature to things. Okay.
Is insight something different?
Yeah, we usually save it for Faktum because it has the word tong in it. It's like okay. So anyway, but you could use it here if you were stuck for a second word. You could do that, and that's very acceptable. Okay, so he says, let's team up two things. What? Great bliss and wisdom. And if you practice with your channels correctly, then great bliss can instigate wisdom. Okay. Then he says, if you practice these two in tandem, Nyamsa Langna, then something's going to happen. And Tim is checking Seiji.
Again, we're technically at time, but if you want to do another 5-minute break, we could do another 5 here because Seiji missed a little bit of time at the beginning.
Yeah, let's do the first 2 lines here. Okay, let's compromise. Okay, please read And Tim will check you.
Suku jupcheki kutumoma yimpatan. Denje u suki kutangche pachi chir toparmingurte.
Yeah, if you combine wisdom with emptiness understanding, then chichir mato.
No problem.
Why would you never achieve Buddhahood? Chichir, why? Why wouldn't you achieve Buddhahood? Chichir, we see it a lot in debating, right? Nimbata, chichir. But here it's like, chichir, topamingur. Well, why wouldn't you achieve Buddhahood? Okay, and what kind of Buddhahood? Well, you would be achieving the unique Tummo Mayimba cause, which creates the form body of a Buddha, the physical body of a Buddha. And you would be creating the cause, and you would be creating the result, which is the physical body of a Buddha. If you keep up this practice based on physical bliss in your body with the channels as a method of enlightenment. So there's a theme here of the physical part of the body. Okay, got it? Wow. By the way, this is the only text that goes tantric. Yeah, and it's very beautiful how he's been going tantric. And someday we'll have to translate some tantric texts.
So he's using kind of like what we might call non-conceptuality, or like a state of mind beyond all ordinary thinking, or a state of mind beyond wrong conception, synonymously with a state of great bliss as the state of mind which is perceiving emptiness.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Okay.
The experience of bliss opens the central channel, and when the central channel is open, you are more open to seeing emptiness. So if you do it in a proper way, then you can use the physical bliss to as a help. What do you call it?
Vehicle.
As an assistant or something to seeing emptiness. Because when your central channel is open the same way as it is when you're experiencing high ecstasy physically. It's very similar. And when you die, and in the moment of death, when you release your pee and poo-poo, your central channel opens briefly. That's why people try to do poa just then. Okay. Yay! Wow. Sashimi!
Thank you, Geshe.
Yay! They're getting hotter and hotter. What's the next one?
Utpalas.
Utpala is hotter than them all.
Yeah.
Okay, take a 5-minute break, you guys. I don't care what Uncle Nick says.